Okay. Whoa. The other dude. Okay. Hi. Hi, everybody. I've laid in a bed for more than a week with really bad depression and sadness and difficulty from what felt like a high the early part of this year. What felt like a high the early part of this year. And really was maybe I made some mistakes or something and had to backtrack. I don't know. Or maybe it made others feel bad and I wasn't aware of it. My relationships in my life, I was kind as I can imagine being. I don't know what I did wrong. I think it was like trying to be back with Danica as my wife. I kept calling her my wife when we're not married anymore. So I think that was a problem, but I'm not sure. I don't know what the problem was. She's still with my kids. She still has my kids. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what the problem is. It's a miracle that I lay in the bed that long and still am in okay shape for how good shape I was getting in this year. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I wanted to talk about sin. Now, by the grace of God, by some miracle, you have a chance to make up for the sin you have done on earth. And some of the sin will be forgiven. But try your best to not sin. We got to do a lot of God's work. And in the past, I wasn't as good, but I was still kind. And at the time of that, back when I was sinning a little more, I was too career-oriented and goal-oriented. And I think I may have overlooked the well-being of other people without me knowing it may have hurt them. I was too focused on my career, getting famous, stuff like that. My thing was getting famous and looking good. I wanted to look good, be famous in my way, not fame for the sake of fame. For my art, for my God-given gift at film, music, art, what I'm really, really good at, which is good, something good. But I pushed it, I think, a little too hard. I prioritized it a little too much. And I had to backtrack from that. You know, depending on how you look at it, I think I have done a lot in that with that stuff. I have close to 100 million views. I have this big resume, you know, it's not even on my own channel, but those views, but you know, I've kind of done a lot, but I want to do more. And I had to backtrack a little and leave it all in the hands of God and keep working as hard as I could at it and being there for family as much as I could from a distance. And I traveled there many times to make sure they're okay since they've been in Texas. So you have a chance to make up for your sins sometimes, but there may be no chance. There may be no chance, so you've got to do it now. You've got to find God and Jesus before it's too late, because any of us could die at any moment. At any moment, and you want to make sure you're saved. Your soul is saved. And you have the chance to make up for your sin and believe in God and Jesus. With the Bible, this is it. The Bible. Follow God and Jesus and do God's work on earth, meaning kindness to others and forgive them when they're mean to you. Don't be mean to them. But everyone sins. Even Christians sin. They can't help but to sin. So don't get the wrong idea from someone who may have been mean. Like, some people are mean anyway, but the main thing, when you follow this, you're going to be more kind. You're going to be way more kind. Yeah, all people sin, you see? I don't know if you get it. I'm so sorry. I think you may have gotten the wrong idea. All people sin. It's inevitable. However, you got to try your best to be kind. To be kind. Because some of those souls, all the souls on earth, some of them, when they're mean, they get taken down to hell for all eternity. For all eternity, suffer in unimaginable torment every waking moment of their continuing lives, of their souls living in a very real way in hell at the hands of the demons and the devil, who are the ones that when people try to act big and mean and hurt others, it's the devils and the devils and demons and stuff like that down there, and the devil trying to empower people with their ways, their meanness, their sin, their unrighteousness, their hurting others, their lies, their distorting of God's truth, their all kinds of different sin. Everyone sins. You can't help but to sin. But the demons try to trick people into doing or lead them into temptation to get things on earth and mess up their souls, to make them really mean and hurt others to get those things. And then when God judges them after they die, the human beings, the devils and demons hate the human beings. You're always going to be a human being. You'll always be or look like a human being with your soul. We're made in the same image as God, and we look like we're going to look after we die. However, those demons and stuff try to get us to act those mean ways, like try to scare people into acting like a big scary mean, or whatever we do, that's a sin, that's bad. And it talks about all what's right and wrong in this book, the Bible, especially the New Testament, which is the best part of it, that Jesus came to earth to make sure this is the real law. This is the real law and always will be. This is forever. And the demons and the devil hate humankind. They hate humankind. They trick them into being mean and all that. Then after they die, God judges them and says, you were mean the whole time, really mean in your thoughts, your intent, whatever you're doing was really mean, because God knows everything, even our thoughts. So then he sends those bad people who made a habit out of all that meanness, and it tells you what's good and bad in here, so you know what's right and wrong really, according to this book. And those mean people get sent down to hell, and they're at the hands of the demons and the devil to be tormented for all eternity until they're all thrown in the lake of fire to burn and burn and burn constantly while their soul never dies, suffering. And they have a good soul inside. We all have good souls. But some of them make the wrong choices and live the wrong way wrong. And they make a habit out of stuff, and they start doing things bad. And that's what gets them in hell. The good people, the good human beings who follow God and Jesus and are kind to others and believe in what the Bible says and shows us how to be kind to others and forgive them when they're mean to us, those people who are really righteous and do a lot of God's work to be as kind as they can on earth, it's not easy. It's not easy getting into heaven. Narrow is the path that leads into heaven, but wide is the road of meanness and the devil's ways that many people fall into, and they are suffering in torment for all eternity, or will be. And there's nothing they can do to get out of there. And the people in heaven, they want to be in heaven, and they feel so bad about how they lived on earth for those dumb earthly things that they thought were so important that didn't matter at all, that you can let go of, that really aren't that important. And to do God's work on earth and what's right and good, you can be kind to others too. And sometimes you get to have things that you really enjoy, and it's enjoyable on earth and good and happy. And it's about being kind to others. So that's it. It's in this book. I'm going to go be kind to others, and then heaven, once you figure out how to live on earth, and you're that way even in this body on earth where it's more difficult on earth, and you keep being kind, even though it can be okay and happy, then after you die, God judges you and said, wow, you found the real way to be on earth. Kindness to others, forgiving when they're mean to you, doing the best God's work, not sinning as much, not hurting anyone, not giving into temptation that the devil tries to tempt people with, being kind and doing good on earth, God's work. And he says, you really found the way into heaven, and then you get to live in all eternity in heaven, where they don't have sex. They don't have sex. They don't do earthly things. They don't even need to eat food there's so much overwhelming love in heaven. There is so much overwhelming love in heaven and acceptance. It's way more beautiful than anything we know on earth besides God or Jesus, and the love from humans a little bit, but the love from God and Jesus is infinitely more beautiful than anything we know. The love and acceptance there in heaven. And then we finally get to feel at peace and okay and live for all eternity in peace and being kind as our souls continue to live. As their souls continue to live for all eternity, forever. We made it. We saved our eternal souls. You can talk with other people in heaven, I believe. Loved ones who made it there. God and Jesus is there. And angels are there. The angels are there, and they're kind. There's nothing mean about them. There's nothing mean about them. They do not sin. No one in heaven sins. Those are misconceptions of people who have the wrong ideas. Don't buy into that. That's doubt. That is misinformation. That's the devil distorting God's truth. It's the devil distorting God's truth when they have misinformation about heaven. Some of the Old Testament is wrong, and it's not in the Bible. I believe it's not in the Bible, and the New Testament is the best. It does not show God as a vengeful, mean God. All loving, loves everyone, forgives people of their sins, and they can get into heaven. Kindness. The Old Testament was kind of wrong, written by prophets, regular men on earth who happened to be prophets that God allowed to get the book written. Wasn't enough, so he sent his only begotten son, Jesus, his only son, to earth to get the New Testament written. And the New Testament is in here somewhere. This is a Bible that someone on a movie set ripped pages out of, and I got a new one. It happened to say Recovery Edition on it of the New Testament. This is the Old and New Testament. And before, when I was not as into God and Jesus, but I still. So that's it. Be kind to others and forgive them when they're mean to you, and don't sin, and find that book, the New Testament, and you'll be saved. You'll be saved. It's around here. It is around here somewhere. It is around here somewhere. Here it is. It's on my bed. It's on my bed. It's on my bed. The New Testament. The New Testament. This is the book. This is the most important book there is. Okay. Believe in God and Jesus and you'll be saved. Click like in the video, subscribe. This is John Birmingham. Bye. I love you. I love the audience. I love my family, my loved ones, Rowan, Ivan, Ayla, their mom, my parents, family, friends, all audience, everyone watching. Show kindness to others. Click like on the video if you want. You don't have to. You can check out more videos on this. I'll put a video about what this means, showing you what every verse means, showing you what every verse, and as I go through the first part of Matthew, the first book of the New Testament, Matthew, explain what it really means so you can understand it if you don't understand what it means. This shows what it really means when I talk about it in the video, and the next I'll put a link to it here. Okay, bye. This is John Birmingham. Bye. God gets all the glory, not any man acting like he's way better than others. It's wrong. No false idols, nothing bad. It's talked about all in here, what's right and wrong. I found what I was doing wrong with my sin when I found God and Jesus in this book. Okay, and you can be really kind, and that's what's really most important. Okay, bye. I love you. I love everyone. You know, I mess up sometimes here and there and sin, but I can't help it. And I do my best to be as kind as I can. Okay, bye.